Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and in today's video we're going to be working on doing some rust repair on the Roadster Pickup project we've been working on. In the last videos, I worked on just getting this thing set up as a roller, so it was easy to roll it around, and we got rid of the items that we do not need, and we have kind of just the basic stuff that we need to build this truck up. So the truck is relatively rust free, but there's a little bit of rust in the floors just from like some mouse nests and stuff in the car or in the truck that need to be taken care of. So I figured while we have the body kind of loose and we can take it on and off quite easily, I would take care of that now, and then after that we're just kind of doing the basic stuff of bolting parts together and getting it running and moving under its own power. So I'm going to be working on making a patch panel for the back behind the seat, and then also there's like a tray underneath of the seat that is a little rotted out, and I think it'll just be better to replace that whole panel. And then we have the rear part of the cab is quite banged in and bent and damaged, and then there's a little patch that needs to be done at the bottom. I'm going to try to take care of all that in this video so that we have the cab, as far as structurally, is pretty set up, and we can move forward with some of the other parts of the project. So let's get going. It's very close. Yeah. So now we will. This is clamped down, and then we just take this handle. Bend up.
How far do you need to bend it?
I'll watch on my gauge here. We're going to go to 90. Right there. And let the weight swing it down. Push back. Well, that gives you a nice crisp bend. So that'll sit up like that. And then yeah, that flange goes up.
Gotta cut some more?
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Maybe we might have to trim a tiny bit.
We have to trim these edges. Right?
Yeah, just the corners. Because we want it to come out pretty much into that little groove there. So we'll probably take. Let's just start by taking the corners.
Mine's on the fly edge,
it's just about, I was going to split the difference, so like there. But it's because this thickness of this bracket here is pushing it back further away, so we'll cut.
Well, see, it stops right in this corner.
Yep, so we'll cut, I'll trim just with the hand shears, just that little notch out, and just draw roughly where it's at, and then that'll allow us to push it in a little more.
Maybe that?
Yep, yeah, that should work. Go. Nothing left of that. Here we go. Boom. How's yours on your side?
I don't know if it needs to come back further, or if it needs to come back further. There's like dirt or something at the bottom.
Oh, like you mean it's right there? Well, that'll all move around.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's why we left that lip there, so we can lay it over.
What do you do with that corner, like bend it or?
Right here?
No, like right there.
Right in here?
Like right here on your side.
Oh, I gotta make a piece for there, yeah. So once we get this piece kind of in and cleaned up, I'll use those Clecos and I'll get it all in place, and then I'll make this piece, get it fit in, and then we'll have everything fit together. And then you just spot weld it all back together and it should be good. Alright, so I got that panel bead rolled and it's sitting in place here. I just tried to sort of replicate what the original was. It's not an exact copy of it, but it is definitely very similar and it is strong. So I ended up using 16 gauge for this stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, which is good for these little floor sections. It's really good. So got that in there. I picked up some wood, aftermarket wood stuff, panels that are pretty cheap online, so I have them just set in there for now. So we have most of the floor kind of figured out in this thing, but before I start taking the rest of the old floor out and welding anything in, cleaning up the metal, welding in, we got to address this back panel because I have to make a patch back there where it's a little rotted out and also damaged, but this back panel with this cab is hammered. You can see the bow in the panel, in the whole back panel. So the wood, there's supposed to be wood that goes all in here and around the back. That is all gone, so of course it can move in easier. So what we're gonna do is actually pull the cab off of the truck, off of the chassis, set it on the ground, and just use whatever I need to use to try and straighten this out. There's gonna be a lot of crude repair there, I think, just to get it just roughed out first, but we need to do that so that I'm not welding in this floor panel here to a floor that's all messed up and crappy, so, or a back panel that's all crappy. So, but it's kind of neat that we're getting some new metal in this thing already. So let's pull the cab off and start straightening that back panel. Alright, so a little bit of aggression, and we have this bottom edge here sitting pretty good on the floor. So I know it's crude, but this is kind of the way to fix some of this stuff. So I got that angle iron section all flattened out, and it is sitting nice and flat on the floor there, which means that we should be able to get the back panel that's all waffled to kind of follow suit for the most part. So just to rough the thing out, I'm going to do the same exact thing on the ground here. I'm going to take some sort of tool, I don't know yet, and a hammer, and kind of flatten everything out. Obviously these beads are pressed in, so we're not going to hit there, but we're going to go, kind of around the perimeter of each of these sections and just kind of hammer it out using the floor as a dolly, so to speak. And that'll get it at least close enough that everything's back into kind of roughly the shape that it's supposed to be. And then later on we can do, some more fine tuning with a planishing hammer and dolly and and blah, blah, blah. But for right now, we're trying to get just a rough shape back in, and this is probably the quickest, easiest way to do it. That easy. Yeah, get spoiled. High-tech tools I got here.
Yeah.
BFH and a block of pallet wood.
Sounds like a winner.
that's like livable. Man. All right, so got our floor panels all welded in. Everything is looking pretty good. We added some extra holes that we punched in. I used the I put it away already, but the hand punch for punching these holes so we could just do the rosette welds. Got this panel in the back here. Originally, I think this panel was one piece, so we just did an overlap and spot welded it. It's just fine. I have it all welded on the inside. I also have this piece back here that I fixed. It's looking pretty good. So I think we're ready to throw the cab back on for now. That kind of was all the structural stuff that was really bad on the cab. So we're gonna flip this bad boy over and get it thrown back on.
Okay.
We just gotta get the one corner on.
Mm-hmm.
it's a wider area back where you guys are at.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Ready?
just put your corner, Steve. Alright, now let me just, I wasn't going.
That's all right?
Yeah. Yep, just get on that side. There we go, now we can just,
There you go. You're on the
wait. Yeah, we'll probably get the wood blocks out soon and we'll actually nail it for real.
Yep.
All right, so we got the cab back on. We straightened out the bed a little bit so that the body would kind of line up off camera, and we of course had to grab a grill off the wall and just mock it up, and it is becoming more and more a vehicle, or sort of looking like a vehicle. So really happy with getting like this quickly. We've got all the major rust repair kind of taken care of. All that's left is there's just a little bit, which is pretty much on every Model A ever. Just this little bottom area here on the cowl, and then behind the doors, there's just a little bit to take care of. That's something we could do a little bit down the line as we start getting this a little further along. For anybody who was shouting at the screen when we were doing the rust repair, yes, we were going to get everything blasted, but I wanted to get the body a little more sturdy before we start moving it around anymore in the truck and taking it to get blasted, all that stuff. So if we're going to work on getting the body nice and sturdy, get all the major structural rust fixed, then we can take everything, get it blasted, and it's no big deal to just bring it back, and we can just start painting and assembling, which is really cool. So now we got this all taken care of. Probably next time I'm going to start working on, again, some more structural stuff. So we're going to work on getting some tubing put in the back of the cab, and then also in the B-pillar area where the doors latch, so that everything's nice and sturdy in there. So I'll be doing very similar to what we've done in a lot of the cars, the 3T, the 33.3 window, a bunch of that stuff. We'll put some sort of tubing that will fit and be kind of hidden and replace the wood that would have been in there originally, and it'll save us a couple bucks because we have the metal laying around, and also it'll make it much stronger. So that's all I have for this one. Thank you guys for following along. Appreciate it. Catch you later.